welcome all men, women, and children, and all the infants, and also not forgetting the toddlers worldwide who shall inherit the lands and become living trusts. So this vlog is going to be entitled Trade Law and Barter Law and Common Law and Case Law. As you're aware, this channel just discusses the law and corruption within the government. And when a demonic paedophile is apprehended, I announce it on this channel and I sue the molester, the government molester, especially when he's a government molester. He has to be sued immediately for misconduct in public office and misrepresentation and other offences, and also fraud and corruption, and violation and breach of Public Trustee Act 1906, wanting to benefit illegally. So, as you're aware how I trade regarding trade law, I trade and resolve and settle all balances and matters for bills in pounds and ounces in weight using barter law, the old English law of the land. Be aware of this. So, as long as you're trading, you should abide by trade law, especially when you're settling all balances in weight, in pounds and ounces. So as you're aware, these demonic corporations demand a balance to be paid. They can't even say what they need a balance to be paid with. So therefore I invoke trade law and also barter law. As you're aware, I have to send the affidavit statement of truth to the government molester, paedophile protector, devil worker, government fraudster with a false wig on his head, the trustee at the courts, working for the wages of sin, the evil tyrant. So when I advised him and I sent him a recorded post, biscuits, I sent him recorded dried biscuits, so they wouldn't go off. So I sent him a dried biscuits packaged, and I advised him this is the barter law payment for the balance. The molester failed to recognize the barter law. So then, as I was informed, trade law was invoked on this government molester, paedophile protector, with a false wig on his head, working for the wages of sin, the evil tyrant. So then I had to write to the government molester with the signed, sealed and stamped affidavit. Be aware all my documentations are sent signed and sealed, containing a signature on the back of the envelope. As soon as they break the seal, they become personally and individually liable. Be aware of this. Full rights and full laws are used against any molesters, especially in the government, especially when they're attempting theft by deception and attempted robbery. So as you're aware, I had to advise the judge, the molester, failing to take the pounds and ounces for the balance, you are a violation of barter law, breach of barter law, also violating trade law, breach of trade law. And I also had to invoke case law on the government molester, paedophile protector. I advised him, you're in violation of case law, breach of case law, and trespass on the case, which is a common law offence. Following any government molesting trustee, administrative judge, working for the wages of sin, and failing to uphold the traditions, principles and customs of the human rights law and the common law. Be aware of this. So as soon as I invoke the trade law, case law and barter law, and also the common law and the trust law and the administration law and the equity law and the Holy Bible laws, on the government molester. He failed to reply anymore. And then, as you're aware, all affidavits sent to the courts after that, they failed to reply. As they understood, I am a living trust, and I have full knowledge and understanding of full rights and full laws, taking down the government molesters and holding the Bank of England fully liable and guilty. That's why they'll never pay the sum of compensation. The fee schedule is attached for the payment and the balance, my balance, to be settled with Bank of England promissory notes, which the molesters can never ever demand in writing what they need the balance to be settled for. Only I can demand this as a living trust, demanding the Great Britain Bank of England promissory notes to be paid for the sum of compensation owed. Then the molesters have to all collude together and gang up like big dirty molesters to protect the Bank of England and fail the injuries and damages to be recognised and be paid. As you are aware, in the cases against the BBC and Crime Watch and the children's football coach, the paedophile Barry Burnell, who was charged and sued for misconduct in public office. Then you have the most recent apprehended molesting policeman who's also sued. So this is the reason the damages will not be paid, you see. As with me, the Bank of England becomes personally and individually liable, the corporation, the thieves. They have to pay the Bank of England promissory notes from the public funds. Be aware of this, all men, women and children, worldwide, taking these molesters on many occasions, lawfully and righteously, with the affidavit, statement of truth, sent, signed, sealed and stamped, containing the signature on the back of the sealed envelope. So as soon as I've informed you, as soon as the molester opens the envelope, he breaks the seal and becomes personally and individually liable for Judgment Day. Any government tyrant sitting up there in the administrative centre, abusing process and failing to recognise any forms of laws, when I have full rights and full laws to be asserted in these so-called law courts, the molesters fail to recognise even one form of law. So, as you're aware, ladies and gentlemen, trust law, administration law, Holy Bible laws, common law, equity law, case law, barter law, trade law, many laws used on these government molesters when dealing with them in monetary matters for commercial gain, even sending them a bill of exchange using Bill of Rights, again holding the Bank of England fully guilty and liable, and the government molesters have to gang up again and protect. So I'll be making more announcements very soon. So I hope you gain further knowledge, wisdom and understanding from listening to this vlog. And people can understand the oppression and tyranny and the emotional distress, panic, startle, alert and alarm being caused by these government paedophile protectors worldwide, controlling my name and my title. The dirty molesters have informed them they have no jurisdiction over my name and my title. I live in a common law, Great Britain, England jurisdiction. You're doing fraud in the United Kingdom jurisdiction, you molester. I'm giving them a civil arrest, a dirty molester. Especially the judge with a false wig on his head working for the wages of sin. End of vlog.